guys, how you doing? I am back from Sardinia. Yeah, I put a few videos up just to keep you guys entertained, at least the regular viewers, whilst I've not been here. So this one again is going to be for regular viewers. So if you're interested in plastering, unfortunately there's not going to be any in this, unless I do this onto another video, who knows. I am going to dedicate this video to one regular viewer in particular called Justin Walker, who's been getting he recommended I use these, and he keeps messaging me saying, why haven't you done this, why haven't you done this? So yeah, I've got these as a temporary fix, if you like, for my slow punctures. And like I say, if you are regular to this channel, you will know I've had a slow puncture for over a year now. The channel's been going for about a year, and I think one of the first videos was me pumping up the tyre, and you guys have been watching me do that for over a year. So to celebrate, we've got these, and let's have a look. So I've not driven my vehicle for a little while. I guess we better make sure she starts, haven't we? Okay, so I want to make sure she starts, because when you put this stuff in there, in the tyres, you have to drive it immediately for something like 6 miles, a minimum of. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But let's have a quick look at what state these tyres are in. Now these are 18-inch tyres. Let's get you down there so you can see, and that's pretty much as flat as you can get. I know you're supposed to, that is flat, completely flat. You're supposed to find, and if you can, get the puncture, because obviously the screws in there, and the front one is pretty much in exactly the same condition. So what I'm going to do, I'm just literally going to fire these in there from this state. It's supposed to re-inflate the tyre, and yeah, weld the patch and drive it. So let's do it. Right, so as you can see, this just goes straight on to your valve. Oh, there's a little bit of air in that one. And then you pull this off and you twist it from off to on, and it reflates the tyre. And if you can see, of course I'm doing these are both exactly the same time. Let's get you set up there. Seems to be doing it. Of course, these are the extra large cans. Apparently it takes 90 seconds. Is that one actually putting stuff in there? See, that one's definitely going in there. Okay, this rear one, it's still kind of going. Feels pretty empty though. There is air in there, but it doesn't look amazing. No, it's not something I'd like to drive 6 miles on. I might need to back this up with some air as well. I'm a little bit dubious whether to put some air in there. How long does it take to inflate? Okay, so there we go. We just drove for about 20 minutes or so. Got it up to about 50 miles an hour up the dual carriageway. So I'm assuming that's giving it ample distribution around the tyre. So yeah, we'll just leave it as it is for now. It's still kind of, it did have a bit on the end. It's still quite wet to the touch, so I don't know how long you're supposed to give that, but we'll find out. And I will keep you informed about the tyre situation as per usual. So yeah, did just come back from Sardinia. That's where I've been with my wife for the last week. We went Saturday and come back Saturday, and yeah, it was really good there. I've never been to Italy before, and Sardinia is a quite large island just off the mainland there. Yeah, it was great. It was kind of like, I think at the time we were going, and maybe sort of like the mentality of the people that decided to go to Italy, it's kind of like the opposite of a 18 to 30s. It was very, very civilized, especially in the hotel where we were. It was a little bit remote. It was all inclusive. The food was all right. The staff were great and friendly. There was 2 bars. There was a beach at one end. Yeah, I couldn't really ask for anything more. It was just a bit of an effort trying to get out of the resort into the local town. There was a bus which did 4 drops a day there and back, and there was a bus timetable, but when the bus actually turned up, it was more of a guessing game than actually adhering to any of the times that were stated on the table there. So yeah, it was really good. Like I say, everybody was really nice. For me especially, I noticed that everybody, so there was a couple of French there was a few English, and there's quite a lot of Germans there, and obviously quite a lot of Italians. And it was really nice in the sense of how friendly everybody was with each other, and prepared to talk and chat and small talk and stuff, you know, especially when the drinks start going. So yeah, it was all inclusive, and I have once done an all inclusive before in Cyprus, which was good, but the drinks that you got which were included weren't the best, put it that way. It was their local stuff, but I soon realised that Jim Beam was inclusive with the package, so I was more than happy to be drinking that as well as the local beers and stuff. So yeah, it was alright. Yeah, I really can't complain. What have I learned? I learned a little bit of Spanish. Of course, you know, when you are in Europe and stuff, you know, or anywhere in the world, isn't it? Of course, everybody else knows a bit of English, and I'm always a little bit, sort of like embarrassed, but you know, I feel a bit, you know, a bit ashamed that I don't know anybody else's language. I mean, like, I've got a handful of words in Spanish. I know how to order a beer and stuff, but I mean, the Italian, obviously the pronunciations are different. I think if you do go to somebody else's country, it's really, really important to get the basics down, and that's obviously yes, please, no, and obviously no is very, very common. And you know, thank you, sorry, all that, and good morning, good day, do your best, and at least try, even if you do sound like an idiot, you know, to them. I think it's very much appreciated, and you know, it kind of gets away from that arrogant, you know, English attitude. Is just like, you'll go to somebody's country, and then like, if they don't understand you, you know, you shout louder, like that's going to make a difference. I'm always a little bit embarrassed when I see an English guy doing that. So yeah, what did I learn? So the thank you is grazie. It took me a few goes. There was a young lad who was a waiter there, and he pulled me up on my pronunciation every time I did it wrong, because I was going grazie, grazie. So yeah, buongiorno, good day, which was normally used in the morning. Grande for large, uno, due, tre for the numbers. Scusi, so excuse me, scusi was a good way to say sorry should you have bumped into somebody. There was another word for sorry, which was more formal, if you like, but I can't remember what that was. It kind of sounded like dispattia or something like that. I can't quite remember that, because although it is important to make an effort, you know, unless you've kind of had a drink, you know, you get, oh yeah, what am I going to say? Buongiorno, per favore. So por favor in Spanish, per favore in Italian, it works, but normally that comes at the end of the sentence. So to kind of warm myself up into speaking some sort of Italian, order a round of drinks in Italian, and be seen to be making the effort to do so, I would start off with per favore. I don't know if I sounded like Yoda to them. It kind of reminds me of there used to be an old sitcom called Hello Hello. It's quite old. I think it was the end of the 80s. I think, I can't quite remember my memories of dates and stuff. Gordon Kay, I think, was the guy. Anyway, it was about the French resistance, and there was a policeman, and he was an English. He was an Englishman, but he was being a French spy, and he could never. It was always an ongoing joke that he mispronounced things, and they came out as rude things. And anyway, I kind of felt a little bit like that. So yeah, buongiorno, ciao, ciao. Por favore, uno beer, grazie, Jim Beam con, and I always used to forget the ice. It's ghiaccio, du ghiaccio, grazie. So yeah, I did my best. And considering I've never spoken Italian before, I thought I've done all right. I did all right, you know, got all that. There's some other words. Apparently there's a lot of hand gestures. This means something. This means something. It means I'm alone or somebody's dead or something like that. I can't remember. We went for an Italian lesson with one of the guys, Cristiano, and yeah, he showed us a load of hand gestures, because I always thought this, what do you want? You know, you always see the Italians doing this, and that's a question. When you're asking a question, you hold this, and apparently this, or I can't remember if it's this finger or this, means I'm going to get you or something. It's you're going to get it or something. And there was another hand gesture that he gave us. I can't quite remember what that was, but that was getting more and more bizarre. And well, there was a hand gesture that specifically meant, no, you didn't fool me, I fooled you. So yeah, the Italians wave their arms around a lot, and it always seems like they're having an argument, but apparently it's normal for them. Very, very expressive. So Sardinia itself, it was great. The locals are great, very, very friendly. It's steeped in history. There was a civilization there, and I think, what's the word you're looking for? Neoglyphic, is it? It's where you got some sort of monument or evidence of a civilization, and they can't put like a time scale on it. A bit like where we've got Stonehenge here in the UK, Stonehenge. So there was evidence of that. And the history of Sardinia, the way it is what it is now, is in like sort of late 50s and 60s. There was a group of millionaires, billionaires got together, mate from Guinness, the Rockefellers and a few other guys, and they decided to build the place up using the, I know we're not talking about plastering, but everything was really, really gritty there. All the sands are so sharp, the sharpest sand, everything was textured, and I looked at the soil and stuff, and the soil just generally was very, very gritty. There's loads of granite there, and yeah, all the rendering, everything was pretty much rendered. Yeah, really, really quite coarse sand. So yeah, and a lot of stuff was just made out of natural stone. So these guys, they got there, and they started building the place up. So all the sort of hotels and churches and things there are pretty young. Although they're built out of natural stone, they look old, but they're not. They're young, and they decided that it was a rule that you couldn't have any buildings which are larger than the nearest tallest tree or something like that. They didn't want any sort of like high-rise hotels or anything, so it all had to be kept very, very natural. And I've got to admit, that was my impression. It was just flying over. I thought, oh, gee, it's just all it is rocks and bushes down there, right? When we got down there. And I did notice the foliage there, actually, because for quite a while, apparently it was very, very swampy there. and in an effort to kind of dry the place up a little bit, loads of different trees and flowers and stuff was brought in from other places in an effort to sort of like drink up the water that was there. And the reason they wanted to do that was because they had such trouble with malaria because it was so damp there. And I think it was Rockefellers, there was an insecticide that they ended up using to kind of cure this malaria problem. And this is why a lot of people there like moved more inland and higher, I think in an effort to get away from the mosquitoes. So all around the coast and stuff like that, that people kind of stayed away from it and away from the low grounds. So yeah, it's a banned insecticide. It's banned now. It's banned in the UK quite a while. The DPP or DDP or something. I'd have to look it up. I'm just rambling here. I'm giving you the basic information. If you do find it that interesting, and I'm sure you will look it up yourselves. So anyway, they did manage to cure this malaria problem. Yeah, it was really, really nice. Everything seemed natural. Like 80% of the island there is untouched. So we went on one of the coach drives and we was taken to one of the most expensive areas there, a kind of like, I guess like their version of Beverly Hills or whatever. And apparently Leonardo DiCaprio has a place there, and there were some yachts there, and it was like, whoa man, that is some money there. There was properties there that were in like hundreds of millions. Yeah, incredible. And then we was taken somewhere else. So we stayed in a place called Bodoni. Where did they take us? I can't remember. Up the top a little bit. I can't remember the name of the place, but it was sort of like in between. I've got some video footage of it. It might be in the video. So yeah, it was all right. If you are interested in Sardinia, then this video I would have thought would be really good for you. If not, you may have been bored to tears, especially when somebody starts showing you their photos from their holiday, and I'm going to do that on YouTube right now. I did do some karaoke there, and I belted out a couple of bangers. You either, with karaoke, you either style it out with confidence if you're not that good a singer, and I did Delilah by Tom Jones, and then Frank Sinatra, My Way. So I did two on there, and yeah, I did it very loudly, and I just found it amusing in front of these French and German people. They might not have heard the song and be so familiar with it, but yeah, it was all good. I can't show it because it's copyright. Okay, all right guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I know I've been gassing on for a little bit now, just trying to pad the video out, but yeah, this is more for the regular guys. We are back at work tomorrow. Now is Sunday. Just preparing myself. To say we got back yesterday afternoon, and yeah, got work tomorrow. I've had the job described to me. I'm yet to find out what the address is. I don't think it's too far away. I can't quite remember exactly what it is. Apparently it's 2 or 3 days work. Excuse me, I'm not sure. So after this video, we will be back with the normal regime of doing videos about plastering. So we've all got that to look forward to. Right guys, take it easy, and I will see you really, really soon on the next video. All right, see you then.
Rather splendid, isn't it, that place?
Yes.
Hotel Mon Repose.